Hey Abe, it is August 27th. So about the punishment, when I said, not to eat a roll of toilet paper, I was making reference to a Vlogbrothers video in which John is punished by having to eat 5 sheets of toilet paper and discuss the political situation in Nepal. And I thought that you would get the reference, so I put it in to be funny for you. But you didn't get it. I will still do the punishment if you want me to. I still need to be punished. Just if you feel like you want to do something more original, I'd be into that too. Just your call. Just now that you have all the information. Senor. So my creative writing class is first of all awesome. But there's something about it that's going to be very different than all the other writing that I've done previously. We are supposed to write literary fiction. Literary fiction and genre fiction are sort of the two main types of things. Literary fiction focus is more on the prose, on the deeper meaning and the metaphoricalness, and on the characters rather than on the plot. Which is why I would say that the absolute best example of literary fiction is Catcher in the Rye, because it's really deep, and it really, talks about the human psyche, and, feeling lost, and it's got some hella metaphors, and it has absolutely no plot whatsoever. Nothing happens in that book. And then you get to the end, and you realize that it is really a mind-blowing book. And I don't know, sometimes it's hard to see it in the moment when you're just he's walking around New York City. And now he's walking around New York City again. When is he going to do something other than walk around New York City? On the other hand, genre fiction is anything that has a label associated with it. Science fiction, fantasy, thrillers, mysteries, romances, historical fiction. Seriously, if you can put it into box, then it is genre fiction. That's the way it works. So, like all dichotomies, this is a false dichotomy. For instance, The Babysitter's Club is the first thing that comes to mind when I think about non-literary and also non-genre fiction. I don't think that kids' books are their own genre or anything, because there are plenty of genres within them, and there's also literary fiction within them. So it's contemporary, it's realistic, it's not really part of any genre, but it isn't literary either. It does not speak to some deep part of the human psyche and describe human nature in its rawest and most upsetting form the way literary fiction is supposed to. It exists outside of the dichotomy, as do a lot of books. All dichotomies are false dichotomies. It's just the way it works. That game is hella strong. I've never written literary fiction before, so this will be interesting for me because it's totally out of my comfort zone. I actually think that that's a really good thing. I want to grow as a writer, so if I keep doing the same thing that I've always been doing, I'm not gonna get anywhere. At the same time, though, depending on how things fall down, for NaNoWriMo, which is alarmingly close now, actually, I will be writing either science fiction or fantasy. Lovely genre fiction. In terms of an outro, do we really need an outro? Can we just be goodbye?